Hello and welcome to the 10 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight. My name is Wadulo, Arnold, Mark and Dorothy Namiyomba on sign language. Thank you very much for joining us. In our top story today, the East African community, in collaboration with the International Organization for Migration, has held the first ever regional consultative process on migration. This landmark meeting brought together ministers and senior government officials to foster cooperation and share information on managing migration across the region. Let's have a look at the details.
The first regional consultative process on migration was attended by ministers and senior government officials from Burundi, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Kenya, Rwanda, Somalia, South Sudan and Uganda. The meeting focused on identifying joint strategies to promote cooperation in managing migration. Topics included labor mobility, border management, climate-induced displacement, and combating human trafficking.
Issues of immigration have been a challenge. Generally, we have been handling them bilaterally, but I think it's important that we sit together and chart out a common strategy. So I expect that this meeting will lay the foundation for a very, very fruitful partnership, and also it will enable us to identify the challenges and deal with them. And I'm sure this meeting will give us an opportunity to compare notes and deal with all the issues that arise around immigration. Maybe the other area which is still deficient is the labor migration. Although we have the Common Market Protocol, but one of the areas that's not moving as well as it should is on labor. So I hope that we can find a common ground to support the young people of this continent.
Delegates emphasized the importance of fostering a regional approach, citing the shared challenges and opportunities within the East African community. The consultative process also underlines the critical role migration plays in development and regional integration.
The draft EAC RCP's action plan. B. Recommend partner states to establish national consultative process and national technical working group for relevant thematic areas to facilitate implementation of the EAC RCPs. C. Direct EAC Secretariat in collaboration with partner states to constitute a regional technical working group for relevant thematic areas to facilitate implementation of the EAC regional consultative process on migration.
The outcomes of this process are expected to strengthen policies, enhance partnerships, and ensure the region is better equipped to address the dynamics of migration effectively.
We really need to control. When we are talking about control of the migration, is that criminals are there. Some people are trading on human being, taking people to Europe, to South Sudan, or to anywhere. You see, people leave from here, South Sudan, they go to Raja, from Raja to Darfur, and Darfur to Libya. All right? And some people are trading on the narcotic, drugs and narcotics, and all these kind of things.
Mary Namkose, UBC News.
Furthermore, Mbarara Regional Referral Hospital commemorated World Prematurity Day with plans to improve care for premature and high-risk newborns. The new neonatal care unit, estimated to cost over $3.5 million will be funded by the World Bank through the Ministry of Health.
The construction of the neonatal care unit was launched during the World Prematurity Day held at the Mbarara University of Science and Technology Pharmacology Theatre, Boma, Mbarara City. The ceremony was graced by several dignitaries, including the Mbarara District Woman Member of Parliament, Margaret Ayebale, who is also a member of the Parliamentary Health Committee.
Leave days of the mothers who give birth to preterm babies. We all know it is public knowledge that every mother who gives birth and is working, whether in private sector or public sector, is given 3 months of leave. But when you look at what these mothers were talking about, It's like even the 3 months are over when the mother is still in the hospital. And by the time the months are done and the mother is taken back to their respective homes with these babies, it's when this baby needs more care. It really requires more care than anything else. So that's why I'm coming out to advocate for more leave days for mothers who give birth to preterm babies.
The new building that's been constructed is entirely a neonatal intensive care unit for all our newborns. It is a 5-level building, and it's going to be completed by June next year. And it should be able to house at least 100 beds, that's 100 babies, and more if there is need. And it will also have all the services the newborn will ever need. And we hope that that is going to cost us about $2 million to construct, and another $1.5 million to equip, and then many health workers to run it.
The journey is just beginning. You have given us a home for newborn babies, but we are asking for more. What are we asking for? We are asking you for staff, nursing, medical specialists.
The construction program funded by the World Bank through the Ministry of Health is designed to provide adequate space and adverse care for newborns requiring specialized attention. The neonatal care unit is being constructed in partnership with UNICEF, USAID, World Health Organization, World Bank.
Residents of Naminya in Njeru municipality recently blocked the Njeru-Kayunga road to protest the waste discharge from Paramuku Steel and Victoria Nile Plastics. In response, the State Minister for Water, Diana Matasingwa, ordered the factory's closure. During a stakeholder meeting in Kampala, it was agreed to construct proper drainage systems to resolve this issue. Let's have a look.
About the construction of our stream that flows with a lot of water from the upper side of the road and from the factories within. And the waste management from these factories has not properly been managed because it was polluting our water of another stream that even our community around fetches water from this place for home use. So we have agreed with the investors, and they have even brought the materials for the stream to be constructed so that we can filtrate this water from we sideline where the waste is going to be disposed and where the clean water is going to flow from, so that our people can consume good water.
As you see, the investors have already delivered the materials and they are on ground. So we are remained with the company, with the municipality technical people to give these people a work plan and the engineer, so that we can see that the work goes on well, so that people can get clean water, because they have a right to clean water, and we want to see that this company is open so that our people can go back and work.
Emabegaka wamazima amatuufu waliwo ensobi, twali mu nsobi, waliwo ebyali bigenda mu luzzi nga si birungi, ekyo tukikkiriza. Wabula bwe twali wano omulundi ogwasembayo twakkanya tugenda kubeerako n'okukwatagana n'abakulu tulabe ensonga obuzibu buno obubadde obuvaawo butya. Bwe tuba twagamba nti tubadde tusindika kazambi mu mazzi, naffe tulina enteekateeka ze tuteekawo okulaba nti ensonga eno tekola ki teddamu.
Kampala is facing severe air quality issues, largely due to the growing number of motor vehicles, including saloon cars and boda-bodas. Research by Airco Uganda shows that these factors contribute significantly to the city's poor air quality. Now, experts in the electronic vehicle transport sector are advocating for the adoption of electric vehicles as a solution to this pollution crisis. Victor Getenya, head of EV at Watu, Uganda, highlights that electric bikes operate on rechargeable batteries, eliminating the need for petrol. This transition can greatly reduce greenhouse gas emissions in alleviating air pollution.
You can imagine the number of borders or bikes that are registered within Uganda, and you're talking about upwards of 2 million. Most of them registered within and operating within Kampala. If you can look at the roads of Kampala, you can see the number, sheer numbers of motorbikes that are riding, moving through the streets. And you can imagine the effect of having a bike format that does not have air pollution as a byproduct.
He emphasizes that electric motorbikes produce zero tailpipe emissions, a critical factor for cities like Kampala, where poor air quality is closely linked to respiratory illnesses and other severe issues.
The other part of it in terms of pollution, there is noise pollution. The noise that an internal combustion engine makes is also very significant in the sense that you have a buzz that is always in the play, where there's always a buzz playing around. With the electric format, it's quiet.
The World Health Organization estimates that air pollution contributes to approximately 7,000 premature deaths annually in Uganda, underscoring the urgency of cleaner transportation solutions. Stakeholders assert that leveling the playing ground for electric bikes to compete with combustion-powered motorbikes in the market could significantly enhance air quality, fostering a healthier and more sustainable environment for all city residents. And partnerships are key in achieving this.
Nothing can happen with one company or one safe border or one Gogo Electric or one Ministry of Science and Technology. We need to come all together as providers who work in this ecosystem, and we have to, and I think government needs to provide that platform.
You know, there are 400,000 motorcycles, bodas in Kampala alone, at least, and it's growing by 10% a year. No one company is going to be able to fully serve that whole market. So I think if we really want to make that transition by 2030, we need at least 3 or 4 players working, each in their own way, each with their own pros and cons, to be able to fill that market.
With an estimated 350,000 of these motorbikes operating in the city, the eco-friendly bikes are not only transforming the way people move around the city, but also offering a cleaner, quieter, and more sustainable alternative to traditional fuel-powered motorbikes. Uganda has experienced significant climate change in the recent years, with an increase in extreme weather events such as floods, droughts, mudslides and landslides. Now, these events have caused loss of life and property, emphasizing the need for sustainable environmental practices. Nyabyeya Forestry College is playing a pivotal role in addressing climate change by going beyond traditional forestry management to become a leader in sustainable environmental practices.
A hailstorm has destroyed 7 homes and the Agape Foundation Mountain Miracle Primary School, turning lives upside down in an instant. Grace Achifeza, Kisoro District Woman Member of Parliament, visited the affected communities to offer her support and condolences.
It took away all the roof, it threw it off, but luckily none was hurt. All the children survived it, but the roof went off. Right now as we talk, they are studying under no shelter. They are just in the structure but without a roof, and anytime it rains they will not be able to study. So we call upon those concerned, the Office of the Disaster Preparedness, to come to their rescue as they are in a dire need of roofing. And we are also continuing to go and see the different homes that also got affected. So it's an emergency that needs immediate attention.
Chanika Town Clerk Miriam Tumheire, standing beside Honorable Achifeza, emphasized the need for immediate action.
Ariko tuwabaranye nabo bantu twenka office tuje kora report tushikirize office ya RDC fatanyije na senior community government officer wanje na chairman kugira ngo tugeze mu office ya RDC kugira ngo abayobozi babere ya district kugira ngo badusabire ubufasha kugira ngo gavumenti bibukire abantu bagize ikibazo nk'icyo.
Mayor Erasmus Sanyu echoed this commitment, underscoring the importance of coordinated efforts to rebuild.
Yesterday, we received bad news from relatives of Nyamigenda that a strong wind has hit several houses in the village. Then we ran to see what was happening. We reached Agape Foundation at Mountain Miracle. The roof of a classroom had been taken away by the strong wind. Similarly, some other houses near the border of Nyarusiza in Nyamigenda, like 4 to 5 houses, all the roofs had been taken.
Reverend Joseph Ndachaisenga, the owner of the destroyed school, expressed relief that no children were harmed during the storm.
Umuyaga w'ishuheri waje ukuraho icyo hejuru ugitanga hasi, ariko abana basohokamo bari gushima Imana. Icyo ni cyambere cyo twashimira Imana kuko Imana yabanye natwe iduhagararaho.
Local leader Mzee Joseph Karasira, LC1 of Nyamigenda, called on the government to provide urgent assistance. Meanwhile, Evarist Nsabimana, a father of 8, described the challenges his family faces.
Umuyaga gwaje gusenya inzu. Amaso gose urukora ko nta mubategarika hari cyari gisakaye. Kiratarama. Kageze heririya gifata ku mugabo witwa Nsabimana Evarist. Uruhare rw'inzu rwose rwagenda. Umwati bagamo bayagwanyiriya iri inyuma yakira kigo. Raza bafata kwaduza kwa Kuruziza Ivan.
Despite the devastation, the community of Chanika remains determined to rebuild, drawing strength from their shared resilience and hope for a better future. Story compiled by Kate Atuzarirwe for UBC News.
Mwetu Uganda Limited has announced a 6 billion water scheme project for Nyanamo Town Council in Bukimbiri County, Kisoro District. The project aims to provide clean water and Nyanamo and surrounding areas. More details in the story.
Operator of Mwetu Uganda Limited, Gladys Namubiru, has said that Nyamnano Town Council water will be pumped from valleys to reservoirs built on hilltops.
Tulinawo reservoir serving abantu baawo then amalala ne tugatwala paka ebamba kati ago era naye waliyo reservoir ya cubic meters 9 ezo zigenda serving abantu beeyo ab'ekabunga.
This extensive scheme will supply water to Bukimbiri County, Kisoro District and parts of Rubanda, including Karengeri, Iremera, Nyamianga and Kateriteri. Namubiru highlighted challenges such as dealing with crops planted on proposed reservoir sites and navigating the difficult terrain during the transportation of raw materials.
The terrain, which is very steep, I really have to invest a lot of money to carry materials from the sources, from where I deposit the material, where the construction work is taking place.
Bukimbiri County Member of Parliament Eddie Kwizera Wagahungu explained that the project, funded by $1.5 million loan from the Exim Bank of India, aims to address the water shortages in Nyamnano and Nyakarembe sub-counties, the only 2 areas in Bukimbiri without reliable water access.
N'amagomborora abiri iyi town council ya Nyanamo n'igomborora ya Nyakarembe ya Bukimbiri. So government has more $1.5 million.
He urged residents to protect the infrastructure, including water pipes, tap stands and reservoirs, to ensure the sustainability of the project.
Menyesha abantu bose aho pipe zigiye kunyura ko bagomba kuzireberera kwa pipe nizabo. Hagiye nuja kuyitema nanga ngo bazibi. So ariko
Geoffrey Tumuhimbise, chairperson of the Nyamnano water scheme, expressed optimism about the project's impact. He noted that once completed, it would significantly reduce the long distance residents currently travel to fetch clean water.
Amizi turabona amizi ukahati turikushaba kugira ngo ekitongole eki kikore namani kitusamiza umubwire ahabwo kuba tubagetaga.
Local residents expressed gratitude to the Ugandan government for addressing their long-standing water challenges, looking forward to the improved access this project promises.
narazaho araraganisa mezi gatarareba se canje munonga no kusima honorable Kwizera abo kugira ngo akata mama ni mingi
twatujaga kajaji twirirwa twikoreye igirikani twarara tutariya tutanabye waje guteka ukarunda amazi gakure none cyo ndikwishimiriza iki kitongore kituzaniye amazi.
As countries prepare for the 5th and final International Negotiating Committee on the Global Plastic Treaty in Busan, Korea, leading plastic-producing nations are being urged to support the process. This treaty aims to ensure that the sustainable production and use of plastics is made globally.
From the 25th November to the 1st December this year, global stakeholders in the fight against plastic pollution will be convening in Busan in the Republic of Korea to give their final shot at efforts aimed at developing a global plastic treaty. The meeting, dubbed the 5th Intergovernmental Negotiating Committee, or INC5, by design will host a cocktail of participants with a common goal to develop a legally binding international agreement on plastic pollution that addresses the entire life cycle of plastics.
As you are aware, all around the globe, plastics have become a burden to the environment, to human health, but also to aquatic life. And this kind of environmental situation is the one that is driving the entire world, not only Uganda, but the whole globe, to think of sustainable ways of managing plastic.
The Ugandan delegation has been sent with outlined demands that they should present at the global scene for consideration.
Number one, we are looking forward to a total ban to the problematic chemicals and plastics. Globally, there should be a total ban to the problematic ones. But we also want the treaty to look into issues of product design, the way these plastics are designed, the threat they pose to our health and to the environment. We want it to be looked into.
According to the 2021 statistics, China is the world's leading producer of plastic, accounting for 32% of global plastic production. North America comes second, producing about 18% of the global plastic production, followed by Europe, accounting for 15%, then the United States, which generates an estimated 42 million metric tons, which is about 10% of the world's annual plastic waste, then India with a production output of 26.3 million metric tons, while Brazil comes in a distant place, producing 10.7 million metric tons of plastic waste annually. Strange though is the fact that Africa contributes merely 5% of the global plastic production, but consumes almost all of it, and recent reports suggest that her footprint is growing due to population growth and urbanization. Given that Africa is in a pitiable place when it comes to waste disposal, especially plastic waste, environmental enthusiasts are hoping against hope that a global legal framework is developed to reverse the trend.
Uganda and Africa at large called for the instrument to ensure a fair, equitable and inclusive transition for affected population with special consideration for people in vulnerable situations, especially women, children, youth, and waste pickers, as well as small and medium businesses in developing countries.
The Global Plastics Treaty is an acknowledgement by governments that plastic pollution knows no boundaries. Uganda is known for legislating good frameworks but fail on the enforcement part. One wonders whether the enforcement of a global legal framework won't suffer the same fate.
When you have your own rules, you can easily bend them. More especially if the politics do not favor them. But if it is a global kind of perspective, then there is that obligation for you to put into action what you agreed upon. Because if you don't, then you will be held accountable at a global level.
When we come here looking at that, our investors that come in with their other agenda, that they will be bound by this global treaty that is going to be highly respected, and therefore whoever comes in to invest in this country, Uganda, will be able to abide by all that is embedded in this treaty.
First of all, there are issues that will be managed at the global level. So whether Uganda has an option or not, we shall abide because it is global. So for us, that is a starting point.
Since 1950, global plastic production has increased over 200-fold to almost 460 million tons annually. Environmental enthusiasts worry that while production has increased, recycling efforts had only dealt with 9% of all plastic waste ever produced. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
The National Agricultural Advisory Services, NADS, has introduced the curated model farm to promote Hass avocado farming in Uganda. Dr. Samuel Mugasi, the Executive Director of NADS, revealed this during his recent visit to curated farms in Chabatanza village, Kamira Sub-County, Luwero District. More details in the story.
The farm spans 106 acres and is a home to a 500,000 capacity nursery, currently with 117,000 seedlings. Dr. Samuel Mugasi, the Executive Director of NADS, emphasized the importance of diversifying Uganda's agricultural exports, urging farmers to consider avocados alongside the traditional coffee crop.
Our target is to plant at least 1 million avocado seedlings per year. If we can achieve that, so that in the next 5 years we have 5 million seedlings planted, then Uganda, I can assure you, will be the #1 exporter of Hass avocado in Africa. And once we achieve that, we will have diversified our economy. As we speak now, we are relying mainly on coffee. And we are saying it is high time we diversified our export base. We cannot rely on one crop. We have the devastating effects of climate change.
He stressed that avocados have the potential to drive significant agricultural transformation and provide new opportunities for farmers in the country.
The first container of avocado that is going with the Ugandan flag. Previously, all our avocados have been exported through our neighboring countries, mainly because we lacked a pack house and we were unable to sort and pack and grade these avocados. We now have a pack house in Uganda, so we're able to grade, sort and pack our avocados and ship them straight to the different destinations across the world. We are therefore happy to bring curated holdings on board because we want more and more avocados. Our suppliers, our exporters have huge demands.
Curated Farms is playing a key role in this vision by working with a nucleus of outgrowers through curated farmers groups. The farm aims to support 200,000 households across Uganda, each growing at least half an acre of Hass avocado.
We already have 8 nucleus farmers around the country, and we will be happy to bring curated farms on board to help us preach the gospel of avocado in this part of the country. And from my assessment, I think Curated Farms is ready to do this job.
This initiative will see establishment of 100,000 acres of avocado plantations, yielding approximately 16 million trees. NADS plans to focus on training and capacity building for both employees and outgrowers, implement advanced irrigation systems, provide essential farm inputs, and facilitate the certifications needed for international markets. Luwero District Agriculture Officer Wilberforce Semiga highlighted the farm's role as part of the district's ongoing agricultural development efforts.
We are also in touch with the agronomists almost on a weekly basis to ensure that the management is up to date and that's how the objectives realized. So they are part of our clients among the so many farmers dealing in Hass avocado. The curated farms are part of they are part of the incoming nuclear farmers who are aimed at promoting the presidential goal an NDP3 plan or NDP4 plan of agro-industrialization.
Despite facing challenges such as drought, stress in the cattle corridor region, high seedling costs and pest management, curated farms has remained resilient.
So some of the challenges we are experiencing was the lack of knowledge base, whereby even our employees, they lacked the knowledge of taking care of an avocado plant. But with continued training, this problem is addressed.
Curated farms will continue to serve as a model for innovation in agriculture, with the potential to transform livelihoods, boost exports and contribute significantly to the national economy. So that Kaye, UBC News.
The Ugandan government plans to streamline land ownership through the new Land Policy 2024. The State Minister for Lands, Dr. Sam Mayanja, discussed the policy at the close of a two-day National Land Policy Seminar aiming to establish a legal framework that Ugandans can trust and ensure land management is equitable and inclusive.
Minister of State for Lands, Dr. Sam Mayanja, says the 6th Land Policy Engagement meeting in the country is aimed at gathering as much information as possible so that no one is left behind when the policy eventually becomes law.
You must effect as much consultation as possible, and this is what we have been doing. It's all right that MPs represent the people in Parliament. It's all right that you have councillors, but you must also go to the root of the matter, meet that person who is affected by that law. That's why we have moved. This now is a 6th throughout Uganda. In Ankole Kigezi, now this is Rwenzori and Bunyoro, this entire region. We have had about 12 or 13 districts. All the leaders from the ALC, the councillors, the RDCs, the mayors, the religious leaders, the traditional rulers, local people, they have been here. So the importance is that now their ideas have been voiced.
Rugajia, Commissioner at Ministry of Land, Housing and Urban Development, says they are taking into consideration concerns raised about potential vulnerability of men regarding land ownership, since the new policy emphasizes women and youth rights.
Certificates of customary ownership, the pilots that happened in Kasese, and how those look like today, urging vulnerability of men. The policy emphasizes specific groups, women, youth, ethnic minorities and others, but a significant absence of emphasis on vulnerable men. That's
Viola, UBC News.
Educationists are urging schools to eliminate harmful influences and foster positive environments for young children. They warn that toxic environments can have severe effects on children's growth and mental well-being, as this report tells us.
Meds have adverse effects on children's growth and mental well-being. It is therefore the duty of schools to create nurturing spaces where young minds can flourish.
So if the environment is toxic, if the environment is not one that nurtures children very well, certainly that is translated into them. You will see it everywhere you go. Even among those very young learners, you'll be able to see it. But when the environment is organized and you're very careful, cautious about the kind of skills that is imparted among the learners, certainly that will also be seen. So
the ceremony, which marked a significant transition for learners, brought parents, teachers and administrators together to reflect on the importance of supporting children during their formative years.
Children are brought in school when they are still young, even when they can't talk. For example, those who are dropped at school in playgroup, they learn so many skills, and it is amazing how children are able to pick those skills. Sometimes you don't even need to teach them, but they pick those skills quite very fast from fellow children.
They are good listeners. It is a very great skill for them. They've been good listeners. They adhere to instructions, and we've taught them. We have Lego, which was a club, which is a technique, a STEM, which is going to be continued at elementary, which enables them to be focused, to be creative, and to be assertive.
The event was a celebration of academic milestone and a reminder of the shared responsibility between schools and homes in ensuring children grow up in environments that foster their mental, emotional, and academic well-being. Kate Maido, another administrator at Hearts of Gold, encouraged teachers to lead by example, imitating good character traits for learners to emulate.
Usually we have been learning about important people in our community, so those are the things we've been learning, and there's one, at times we have even stories to tell them. At times they come and tell you, I went to the doctor and the doctor did this and gave me the medicine, so that is the inspiration they've been having.
Age and era where, technology is growing and, being revolutionized at a very fast pace. Our school cannot stay behind in that area. We are growing it. We are certainly, improving on that program. We've put so much strategies in place to be able to grow it.
Mary Namkose, UBC News.
The Norwegian Refugee Council and other humanitarian organizations have called for increased funding to meet the basic needs of refugees. They stressed that underfunding is a significant challenge, especially for host communities sharing limited resources with refugees, particularly new arrivals from South Sudan.
Uganda continues to be a leading host country for refugees, providing sanctuary over 1.7 million people fleeing conflicts and persecution in the neighboring countries. However, the recent influx of refugees from Sudan, driven by escalating violence, has placed unprecedented strain on already limited resources and services. Now the head of program at the Norwegian Refugee Council, NRC, Melchizedek Malile, says they are working tirelessly to address these challenges despite their financial constraints.
Since the arrival last year, to date we have received close to 60,000 Sudanese refugees. Alone this year, we've received around 45,000 Sudanese refugees, which of course form part of the 150 new arrivals. Others come from Eritrea, South Sudan, DR Congo, and other countries. With the challenge of underfunding, this is straining the already strained resources, and meeting their basic needs has always been a challenge, especially focusing on Sudanese, who many of them come from urban centers. They have skills, they have competencies that they would want to employ, but settling them has been a challenge.
Stating that their teams are on ground providing emergency shelter and water, education, multi-purpose cash and protection services to the newly arrived Sudanese refugees and host communities.
So I need more security because as we know that there is a lot of thieves come and steal our things. So there is people, there are thieves enter to their houses, they stole their phones and so on. And there is border guys, they follow you when you are in the street, they harass you and so on. So we need government in order to look for this aspect exactly. And even we need like training courses that we have in job, we sit at the home and when we sit at the home, we will think a lot. And by this way, so maybe you will get psychiatric aspect. This is why if there is center, that there's people teach you English will be better. And even if there is training courses, you attend it will be better even.
These are good people and we have managed to stay with them in harmony. And we are ready to be with them until peace prevails again in their country. The other thing, they are hardworking people.
However, the lack of adequate funding limits the scale and sustainability of this support.
We manage with the small resources to have English lessons, and we have overwhelming students that include men, women, even children. They are coming in shift because of the challenges that we are facing in terms of funding. All these activities, we are doing it, sometimes we use the income that we are earning as a center, so we don't have any money coming to this, but we are doing it because it is a basic need for people who are coming in.
According to the UNHRC, Uganda Country Refugee Respond Underfunded Report 2024 indicate that despite some of the recent positive funding developments in certain sectors, the impact of underfunding remains profound, and the ongoing increase in population requires humanitarian partners like NRC to do more with less, stretching their resources even thinner and making it increasingly challenging to meet the escalating needs. Zahara Abigaba, UBC News.
Well, thank you very much, Zahara Abigaba. In other news, the government of Uganda has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Global Alliance for Improved Nutrition through the Office of the Prime Minister. This initiative aims to improve nutrition among civil servants by introducing educational talk shows across all ministries on the importance of balanced diets and healthy lifestyles.
As part of the program, all employees will be encouraged to participate in daily physical exercises. This development was announced by Charles Bamuhata, the National Nutrition Coordinator, during a meeting with government officials in Entebbe.
Political leadership of ours is also be deliberate and provide interventions and resources for addressing the diet-related non-communicable diseases, in addition to having the human resources for nutrition, especially like in the Cancer Institute and the Heart Institute, where most people go there because of non-communicable diseases, but they lack professional support from the nutritionists in those places. And we would rather do a lot of preventive rather than waiting for falling sick, so that we avoid going to hospital. If we do nutrition for all, especially through education, through behavior change communication, then we shall have better results.
Linda Ruva, the chairperson from the Office of the Prime Minister's Nutrition Program, emphasized the importance of prioritizing health in workplaces. She confirmed that the program is set to roll out next year, highlighting its role in fostering a healthy work environment.
Undergoing the workplace nutrition initial stages. So when we are done, we are going to come up, GAIN is supporting us. So when we are done, we are going to come up with workplace nutrition guidelines. So when we have those guidelines in place, then we shall disseminate to other ministries, departments and agencies.
A nutrition specialist, Achiro Enid, noted that poor nutrition habits contribute significantly to employee illness, leading to increased government expenditure on healthcare. To address this, the program will provide nutrition guidelines aimed at improving overall health and reducing workplace-related health issues.
As regards to the workforce nutrition, if we look at the recently released UGHS report, like my colleague alluded to, there's an increase in NCDs. However, most of our office and our work is sedentary, pushing the employees to a sedentary lifestyle and with less and limited activity.
Musa Mutyaba, the representative from GAIN, encouraged the civil servants to embrace the initiative, emphasizing its potential benefits for the health and well-being. He expressed optimism that this partnership will have a positive impact on the broader Ugandan population.
One of our programs, which is called Workforce Nutrition, a program that is designed for the workplaces, whether formal or informal, and focused on addressing malnutrition that happens at the workplace. Because the study findings show that we spend a third of our adult lives at work. So by that fact, it means that even the risks to malnutrition become very high if we don't pay attention to how we feed while at work.
Story compiled by Chirembeka.
Winning requires the stamina of a lion. But most importantly, it requires that you carry that water up the top of the hill. However, you must use a spoon. Take the water now. Go, run, climb up the hill. 72 spoons. Faster, go, go. Winning is hard, but with MTN Momo, it's easy. Simply pay or shop with Momo for a chance to win mobile money every day. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
Amazina ganje ninyetwe kwa Seruhanga John Bosco ninduga mu district ya Rukungiri ryo muhanguzi wa miliyoni 18 na Uganda National Rotary nzahangwire urwo mu kuzana star 278 hash ngafuna message eriko mu muhanguzi nashemererwa konka nabaza kugira ngo nebiya bafere sente ziriyo zona bakaziteka ko nazihangwira.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
To be a winner, you must have the discipline of a tiger. But when fueled with MTN Momo, winning is easy. Simply get your phone and use the Momo app or dial *165*3#, enter merchant code, enter amount, enter your Momo PIN, and pay. Congratulations! Your car is happy, and now you stand a chance to win mobile money with MTN Momo.
The Homes and Construction Expo is back. Are you looking for answers to your property and real estate development questions? Come and interact with experts in the industry including architects, engineers, developers, interior designers, financiers and more from 30th November to 1st December 2024. The expo will be at the Millennium Park opposite Philip Omondi Stadium under the theme Affordable Housing, Innovations and Technology. There will be captivating exhibitions and insightful discussions daily. Entrance is only 10,000 shillings per day. To book a stall, contact 0772 354 940. The Homes and Construction Expo is brought to you by New Vision.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. We now take you into the world of business. The Executive Director of the Uganda Bureau of Statistics, Edgar Niimpa, announced that UBOS is supporting university students studying statistics to develop highly qualified graduates for future roles in national data collection and planning.
Every nation relies on accurate statistical data for proper planning and decision-making. The Uganda Bureau of Statistics, in collaboration with Uganda Statistical Society, organized the annual symposium to support university students pursuing statistics. This year's event was hosted by Uganda Matters University in Kozi. Representing the Executive Director of UBOS, Edgar Niimpa, highlighted the Bureau commitment to support statistics students across various universities in Uganda. He noted that enhancing the education will ensure a future workforce capable of collecting and analyzing quality data.
Supporting education by modernizing production of fit-for-purpose statistics as our theme. Today's theme invites us to reflect on the importance of relevant, accurate, and timely data in guiding Uganda's educational and development agendas. To the students, you are the future statisticians, analysts, and policymakers who will shape our society by collecting, analyzing, and interpreting the data that informs our decisions.
The Deputy Vice-Chancellor of Uganda Matters University, Reverend Dr. Christopher Mukidi, underscored the importance of statistics in global planning processes.
Even though statistics as a subject is very complicated, we need them to make informed decisions based on data. When one is in a leadership position, you are expected to make decisions, and these decisions should not be based on guesswork.
The coordinator, Uganda Statistical Society, Silvio Yela, noted that this year's symposium attracted students from 6 of the 12 universities offering statistics programs in Uganda.
We want the students to come, since they are from different universities, they come and share ideas and show us and encourage the young ones out there so that they are able to take on statistics.
The Principal Research Officer at the Ministry of Education and Sports, Mr. John Impande, encouraged students to embrace their studies, highlighting the relevance of statistics in shaping future policies.
Data touches everyone. Data touches me. Data touches my pocket. So people are now realizing the value of data, the value of statistics. And that means you as statisticians, your value is increasing exponentially.
We have so many problems in Uganda. Students are studying programs they don't believe that can help them in their real life.
There's information that we get from them that otherwise wouldn't have been gotten from anywhere. And at the end of the day, we get that very information and transfer it to our relative.
Fiona Francisco, UBC.
There is myths that so many of you live by. If your eye is twitching, it means you're going to see someone you like. If it shines and rains at the same time, it means a leopard is giving birth. If your hand is itching, it means you're going to get money. If you see an owl, it means somebody's gonna die. If you hear of a disease outbreak, just know it is in a village district at the border next to some suspicious country. You will want to scratch that last myth, because Mpox is in 19 districts and Kampala is among with dozens of cases. Please stop going around checking anyone's hand. Mpox kills. Protect your loved ones.
Welcome back to still watching the UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. We now take you into the world of sports. The Sharing Olympism Forum, organized by the Uganda Olympic Committee, has begun at Kaboja International School in Buziga. Uganda has excelled not only in sporting events but also in promoting Olympism and its values. Let's take a look.
Uganda hasn't only shown in the sporting arm of the Olympics, but also set standards in highlighting key areas like Olympism and its values. This has earned the nation global applause for setting the bar so high, with other nations now benchmarking through the Sharing Olympism Forum.
Sharing the Olympism Forum is very important for us as Uganda and also the National Olympic Committees of Lesotho and Kenya, because we've been one of the key values of Olympic Games or Olympism is respect, friendship, and excellence. These are all demonstrated in the way sports is taking place. However, in the last quadrennial, which is ending, we've been promoting Olympism through Olympic education and values.
The Pioneer Sharing Olympism Forum has attracted participation from Kenya and Lesotho.
What I've picked from some of the discussions that we've had with our panelists is that sports can be used as a tool for social change. Sports can be used as a tool of improving lives and changing the narrative of not only the participants here today, but Africa as a continent.
We are a small country, but one that is dedicated to sport, but most importantly, dedicated to the education program of the Olympic values.
Uganda is also represented by schools like Bishop Cypriano Kihangire, Kaboja International School, Gombe SS, and Kawempe Muslim School. The forum, whose benefits exceed beyond sport, is also attended by the Game Connect, which is an Olympic Refugee Foundation program. Over the 2 days, the discussion will explore values of Olympism and their significance, the vital role of youth in promoting Olympism, and the true spirit of sport.
The power of sports, if you understand the power of sports, it's all about how you use the values of sports to cause change within the society. For example, the values of fair play. Fair play is no cheating, of being organized. The power of being friends, that you don't hurt your neighbor. That's the power of humanity. The spirit of Olympism is all about humanity.
Participants will also benefit the impact of Olympic values on shaping this generation and learn of opportunities within the Olympic movement while harnessing sport as a tool for positive change in Africa.
The East Africa Talent Promotion Program, featuring the Bongo Star Search competition, kicked off its auditions in Kampala today. Hundreds of contestants gathered at Katikati to showcase their musical and cultural talents, all competing for a spot in the top 5. Now, due to high demand, auditions have been extended to tomorrow, November 24th, 2024. The top 5 finalists will compete in Dar es Salaam for the grand prize on February 28th, 2025. More details in this report.
There's platforms where we can showcase so that we can stay a chance to be, studying for a better future. And that's the main point, just showcasing and staying a chance of, being selected by big people out there, because what we like is just support.
Actually, what attracted me to come for this competition is that if I get to perform on a bigger stage, I'll be showcased to bigger opportunities. Because right now, there's a point in life where you reach and see music is not moving, you're not supported by people, and yet, yeah, music is something. So if I'm exposed to a bigger platform, I'll get bigger opportunities.
I want to work with a lot of people, take Uganda to the next level. It's entertaining and also teaching the society. You get it? Teach other people, the young ones, also motivate them to join, who want to join the industry.
For now, I won't really think so much about what I'm really going to gain from there. All I want to do right now is to go prove myself and show that I can do something. Other people who have talents, please don't lose hope, because most times the chances you get, use them.
The 2024 Great Thinkers Chess Championship has concluded at Peak Primary School in Ntinda. Let's have a look at the details.
Peak Primary School in Ntinda has played a perfect host to the 2024 end-of-year Great Thinkers Junior Chess Championship.
As a school, we have embraced chess because it promotes the ability of the learner to think, concentrate, and come up with new ideas.
The championship that started in 2021 attracted participation from several schools and had close to 250 players, contesting for, among others, trophies, certificates, and a $500 cash prize.
And we thank our sponsor, the Sam's Company, for bringing us the snacks. And we are so glad that the tournament has been successful.
It was played in 4 categories of the under-6, under-8 ladies and the open category. Under-8 gold in the boys category went to Francis Tomusime, who also took home $30, as did Shalibali Dawa, who topped the girls.
I play chess because I was encouraged to start the game. It's a fun game. It has taken me to so many countries all over this world. And also, I thank all my parents and teachers for supporting me in the game.
In the ladies category, Jairo Nakwesa won the under-10 category. Juliet Asana triumphed in the under-12s. Dasha Zalwango topped the under-14, and the under-16 was won by Macklin Nakatude. while Zana Hayon Maweje bettered all under-18 girls. Elvin Mukasa, who was the tournament's best player and took home $100, beat all under-10 boys, while the open category second best Alan Mitara, who took $50, was supreme in the under-18s.
In the age group of like 20 to 26, we didn't have any standout player, and most of us phased out. But from now 18 to around 8 years, we have players who I can see making potential champions. So there's a very large pool of players right now. I like attending such events because I just spot and identify who we can focus on, maybe help, nurture.
The best under-12 open category player was Okrut Martin Kingsley, an honor that went to Innocent Baguma in the under-14s, while Aaron Odida triumphed in the under-16s. The Great Thinkers Junior Chess Championship is played every term. Cumulative points are from each engagement are tallied to determine the year's best Great Thinkers Chess Academy affiliated players. This year's award went to Hailey Neo Michelle among the girls, and Martin Okrut beat the boys.
And that brings us to the end of our news tonight. Thank you for being a lovely audience. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold, Dorothy Namuyomba on sign language. Allow us wish you a lovely night.